Anyway, let's bring in two individuals who have been reporting on the Hunter Biden laptop saga for years. Fox News contributor Miranda Devine is with us, as well as JustTheNews.com editor-in-chief John Solomon. I have the report in front of me, Miranda. The Intelligence Community 51, how CIA contractors colluded with the Biden campaign to mislead American voters. That laptop that people like our friend Emma Jo Morris and yourself were reporting on was absolutely right, and it was censored. The American people didn't see it, and it would have likely changed the outcome, wouldn't it?
Look, it sure would have. We know there are a number of polls that show that Biden voters, if they'd known the truth about Joe Biden, they would have changed their vote. And therefore, we wouldn't be having these wars in Ukraine and Gaza. We wouldn't have 10 million, 8 million illegal aliens streaming across the border, and among them sexual predators and terrorists. That was the consequences of the CIA regime change operation, because, as you said, we now have new information from the Judiciary Committee showing us that at least two, probably more, of those 51 former intelligence officials, most of them, 41 of them being from the CIA, at least two of them were on the payroll of the CIA at the time that they signed that letter. They were contractors. But, you know, even worse is the fact that that letter was taken up to the director of the CIA, Gina Haspel, by the number 3 at the time, a guy called Andrew McCredis, who testified to this. He was the chief operating officer. And so that letter should never have seen the light of day. The CIA knew full well that it was not Russian disinformation, and yet the CIA director, the number 3, and potentially the deputy director all waved it through. It was fine. They should have stopped it, and they let it go, and therefore they tricked the American public into thinking that Joe Biden was a very different person from what he was. They were denied the truth about Joe Biden's corruption.
Well, that needs to be asked tomorrow, but I wouldn't expect it from fake news CNN. John Solomon, just before airtime at JustTheNews.com, you broke some news as it relates to Hunter Biden, the family, and his testimony to Congress.
Yeah, this is important, and it's 43 months ago this month that Joe Biden looked in the camera and said, I didn't get money from, my family didn't get money from China. I never met with my son's business partners, and the laptop was Russian disinformation. All 3 of those statements were false. We're now able to go back and look at many other things the Biden camp told the American people that are also now disprovably false. This one is from FBI documents the FBI took from Hunter Biden and his business partners in 2016. They were turned over recently by Devin Archer, one of Hunter Biden's business partners, to Congress. They show that Hunter Biden, as recently as February, wasn't telling the truth when he said, I wasn't part of the Burnham investment firm that got involved in fleecing an Indian tribe, and also was working with or helping the business partners work with Elena Baturina, that Russian oligarch you just mentioned. Well, in fact, he was. In fact, he signed an employment contract. He agreed to be its vice chairman. He opened up an email account. He corresponded with Burnham's clients. All of those emails are not on Hunter Biden's laptop. They're not in anything we've seen before, but they were in the FBI's possession because they got them. And tonight we're able to report dispositively that Hunter Biden's testimony is directly contradicted by this evidence, which has been in the FBI's possession for 8 years. I just talked to Andy Biggs, the man who asked the question that Hunter Biden answered when he said, I had nothing, it never happened. I didn't do the deal with Burnham. Andy Biggs said he felt like he was lied to, and somebody needs to refer him for more prosecution.
Well, if his last name was Navarro or his last name was Bannon and he was brought up on contempt charges, he'd probably be looking at jail time. But we don't have that justice system any longer, equal justice, equal application of our laws. I hope for the sake of the country that Joe's lies are pointed out tomorrow, and I hope for the sake of the country that laptop becomes a very serious issue. Joe lied to the American people about Hunter's business and about the laptop. Thank you both. More Hannity straight ahead.